Hey YouTubers, Tazman here, and I'm bringing you a brand new video tutorial series that I call Minecraft from the Ground Up. Now this is a video tutorial series that complements a document that I'm currently working on, and once it gets further along I'll release with the same name. So the only assumption I'm taking in this series is that you have gone to Minecraft.net, you've created an account, you've bought an official version of the game, and you've downloaded the Minecraft.exe. Hopefully you've done all that. If not, you need to go to Minecraft.net and go ahead and create an account, buy the game, download the exe. So once you've double-clicked the Minecraft.exe, you'll be greeted with a window that looks like the following. So the upper portion in this gray area is the news, and also contains your links and stuff like that. So you can see here Minecraft 1.5.1, these are the things that were added or fixed in it, and so on and so forth. 1.5 and so on and so forth. So you can get a lot of news, and there's quite a bit there. It goes all the way back to Minecraft 1.4.4. But anyway, let's move on. So the part we're really caring about is this down here. Now, once again, if you have the game but you don't have an account, you can click this need account button or link, and it will take you to the Minecraft.net site. Okay, we all know how to do username and password, but what I want to talk about is the options button here. So let's click that real quick. So when you click the options button, you'll get a little window like this. So this first button right here that says force update, if you've installed mods or have issues with Minecraft where it's not loading or it's crashing a lot, a good idea might be come here and push this little button, because what this is going to do is it's going to force Minecraft, whether it's the current version or not, it's going to re-download all the files and basically act like it's a brand new install. So a word of warning is that if you have mods installed or things like that, it will overwrite the Minecraft jar file and various other files. So you might have to reinstall your mods, but small price to pay to get the game working again. The second thing is, a lot of times you might be on a site and it says, oh, just put this texture pack in your texture pack folder, but it doesn't actually tell you where it is or how to get there. So they've included a little link here that if you click this, it will pull up the location of your Minecraft folder where it's all installed. Now normally there will be multiple other folders in here, and we'll actually come back in here once the game's installed and take a quick peek at the folders and structure. But this is where you'll have your Minecraft jar file and your worlds that you've saved and texture packs and server texture packs and such. If you're ever wanting to get here, you can click on the start button in the bottom corner of your Windows box, or if you pull up a Explorer window like this, in the start button you click the run box, and then you just type in the % app data and then the % symbol, and this will take you one step away from actually being in your Minecraft folder. It'll take you to your roaming profile for your user profile. So anyway, and then you just double click the Minecraft or the .minecraft, and that will take you to the same place. So clicking the button right here actually takes you one step further than typing app data. But I wanted to give you both ways to get there. So let's go ahead and continue. So we're going to click done. Now the next thing, I'm going to type in my username and a password. And this is going to error out. Even though this is my correct username and password, it's still going to error out, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, if you type in your stuff, and this is your own personal system, if you're at a library or something, do not check this box below, because it will make it so that the next person that gets on just has to click log on, and they can play as you on a server, get you in trouble or whatever else. So only click remember password if it's your machine you're doing this on and no one else uses it that you don't want using your account. Once you've typed in your user and password, go ahead and click login. Now, like I said, this is going to fail. Now, the reason this is going to fail is because with the new dev version of Minecraft, Mojang now has made it so you have a Mojang account that's linked to your Minecraft account. So now you actually log in using your Mojang account username, which is your email address. Now, for security purposes, I'm not going to show you guys my email address or the password, but I just wanted to show you that that's what it'll do. So if we click try again, it'll let us try it again. Now, if we're not on a network and it can't connect to Mojang site and authenticate, this play offline will be available. But right now it's not because I do not have Minecraft installed at all on this system. Generally, if you do have that play offline, you'll be able to play Minecraft as normal. However, if you have a custom skin for your guy, it won't show up because it can't access the internet to get that. So anyway, let's click try again. And I'm going to type in my other credentials, my proper credentials, and we'll resume once it gets to the next screen. Alright, so see you in a minute. Okay, so now that it's logging in, it's authenticated. Now it's going to download, if you haven't ever downloaded Minecraft yet, it's going to download all the install files. And it's going to take us into the game. Okay, so now we're in Minecraft. What I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to exit the game and we're going to go and look at the structure of the Minecraft install folder. So hold on just one second. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are back at the main launcher interface. So we're going to go ahead and click options again and we're going to click our Minecraft file. Now, as you can see here, now it's populated. I just wanted to quickly give you an idea of what these things are. So bin, anytime someone says you need to modify the minecraft.jar, that's in the bin directory. So right here's minecraft.jar. Now, it's not recommended that you do that, but some mods will require it. And if you don't know what you're doing or you don't understand the instructions they're giving you, highly recommend you ask, because you can mess up your Minecraft. However, you can always just click the force update and get it back. The resources file is exactly what that sounds like. It's your sounds, it's images, your little PNG textures and stuff like that. Saves is where all your individual worlds will be. Every time you create a new world, it will create a folder with that world name. Stats is your statistics for your user. Texture packs, when someone like for example you download OCD, the OCD texture pack, which I use a lot for development and testing for my redstoning and stuff. But if you download a texture pack, all you have to do is put the zip file you download into your texture packs folder. It automatically will at runtime look inside the zip file and get the information it needs. So you don't actually have to decompress it in here. You just leave the zip file in there and you're good to go. The texture packs MP cache, now this is, from what I understand, this is when you log on to a server that for some reason requires you to use a texture pack, it will download it temporarily as a cache file in here so that you're using whatever texture pack the server is telling you to use. And then of course you have your other little files in here that aren't too important at the moment. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea of the file structure of Minecraft. Since this is from the ground up, here we are, we're at the ground right here, and now we're working our way up. So let's get back in the game and we'll continue from there. So see you in a minute. Okay, now we're back in the game. So this is what the game interface will look like. This yellow text right here changes pretty much every time you launch the game. So we have these buttons right here that we're going to talk about. Down here in the bottom left corner is the version, so you can know exactly what version you're running, and of course your copyright. Do not distribute it. Everyone should pay for it. It's a great game. It's worth the money. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin talking about the buttons. Sorry about that. I had to step away from my computer for quite a bit of time. I've obviously re-logged in because we have a new yellow bouncing text. But anyway, let's continue. So on the main page here we have 5 buttons. We have single player, multiplayer, this little square one that's a speech bubble with a world in it, options, and quick game. Quick game is pretty obvious what it does. It exits the game. We're going to go more into single player and options in just a little bit, but let's talk about the speech one here, which is your language button. So if you speak an other language other than English or Spanish, something like the default language in Minecraft is English, but if you speak another language, you can click this and you can choose the language that you speak, and it even has pirate speak if you speak that fluently. It is good to note that not all language translations are 100% accurate, so it might not be 100%. Anyway, let's continue. Let's go into the multiplayer. So the multiplayer button will take you into your multiplayer settings. Kind of obvious, right? So when we click that, we get a list of servers. And as you can see here, we have multiple servers. Each one of these, each 3 lines represents one server. Top line right here is the server name. This is a friendly name that you set, and we'll go over that in just a minute. Then you have the ping response, how long pings are taking. Obviously, the more green bars, the better. Then you have the welcome message or the message of the day for the server, how many players it can have, and then down here, if you don't have it hidden, it will show you the actual IP or the URL of the server. So let's go ahead and add a test server. Okay, so this is what the server adding information looks like. I guess I don't know how to say that, but let's just call it testing with a G. The server address, we'll just do localhost. So this is because I'm actually running a quick server on my machine right now. This will do it. Now this is where it says hide the address. If I click yes, then localhost will not be showing. If I click no, then it will go ahead and show that. And let's just leave it on. And if we come all the way here to the bottom, you can see localhost is actually showing, and you can see that this and this is actually the same. They're both on this machine. This is just a second connection to it. I just wanted to show you how to set it up. So we're going to delete this one, which you can edit it if you mistype something like an IP address, you mistype it, go back in there, change it. You can refresh your server list. Sometimes they don't respond as quick as they need to, and it might say it's down when it's really not. So you can click refresh, and you can also click the delete here to delete it. Bye-bye. Alright, then the other button it has here is the direct connect. So if this is a one-time connect, you can click direct connect and it won't create an actual entry. So if we do the same thing and just type local host localhost here and join server, it'll just connect directly to the server unless it can't. local, or you actually have to type it right. Go figure, right? localhost and join. So here you can see I joined the server. Oh, and I'm not in creative. This is just something I'm setting up for my family and some friends. But anyway, that's how you connect to a multiplayer server. So let's get out of here. Disconnect. Alright, so clicking disconnect takes us all the way back out. You can also just click the cancel, and that takes you to the same place. Alright, so now let's take a look at the options button. So clicking the options button, we're given all the different options. If you're doing a Let's Play, I highly recommend, or if you're recording it, it doesn't have to be a Let's Play, turn your music way down, either off or down nice and low, because when it comes in, it's really loud. You also might want to turn your actual sound down to around 50 so that when you go into the nether and there's blaze and everything, if you've been following my Taz play, you'll see that I forgot to turn that down. Invert mouse simply makes it so actually it's not doing anything. Not sure what that one does. I would have thought it made it so up is down, down is up. Maybe it's in the game when I move my mouse up it looks down, and so on and so forth, kind of like when you're using a flight stick. Sensitivity is the sensitivity of the mouse. The FOV is your field of view. So your default is what I usually play on. You can turn it all the way up to where it looks like Quake Pro, where it's just kind of a fisheye view. Really horrible, if you ask me. The difficulty button here is the difficulty of the game. There's 4 settings. There's normal, hard, peaceful, and easy. I like to play on hard because I like a challenge. I'm not afraid to die. If you have a device that is touchscreen capable, you can turn that on and actually play on the screen. This is the same button that we clicked on the main page to select your language. And video settings we're going to hold off just a second for. Now texture pack we talked about a little earlier. If you have other texture packs like OCD or something like that, you can actually see them in here. Right now I don't have one, but hold on just one sec. I'm going to go put my OCD back in. 1 second. Okay, so I quickly added OCD just so you can see what it looks like with multiple texture packs. So now if we click it, you can see OCD's there. Now I'm not going to click that because it takes a minute for it to load, and then we'll have to another minute for it to go back to default. But anyway, this is what it will look like. And if you click the Open Texture Pack folder, it will take you to that directory, texture packs inside the .minecraft file or folder when we were looking at the launcher. So we're not going to do that, but we're going to click Done. Okay. The other thing here is the multiplayer settings. So if we click this, this is for all your multiplayer settings. Now this isn't necessarily control multiplayer servers, this is actually your settings. So you can turn on and off the chat, so it only shows commands executed, or you can hide it or show it. You can make it so the colors in the chat are on or off. You can change its opacity, I can't say that word. So basically how translucent it is or transparent. The scale of the chat, you can have it so it prompts on links. Basically I believe that's so if there's a link in there that you can normally click and it will do something, this will prompt you first and say, are you sure you want to do that? Then the focus height, this is when you click on the chat, it shows a certain amount of the chat, you know, like the last 5 or 6 things. If you turn this down lower, that will only show, I believe, the current chat that has been typed. Or you can make it so it's even bigger using the unfocused height. So when it goes away, that's how high it'll be. The width of the chat, and then this is fairly new where you can, if you've gone to one of the Minecons, you might have a Minecon cape. Sometimes people just get tired of having that cape always on. This will make it so it shows or doesn't show. So there's that. Next we have the controls. So the controls are exactly what it sounds like, all the different buttons. So we have the defaults are these. I usually like to change just a couple of them. I like to change the Q to T for throw. I change chat to enter because I usually press enter in other games to start typing. And then my inventory I change to I. Now the reason I change from Q is because sometimes when I'm holding the A key or something and I'm running from a mob, I might go to try and hit the 1 key, which moves you to your first weapon slot or your inventory hotbar item, and I might hit the Q on accident and throw it at the monster, and that doesn't do me any good if it's a sword. So I like to set it up like this. You can set up it however you want. However, just note that when I say press I in game, you'll press whatever your inventory key is. Or if I say press Q to throw it or drop it, you'll press whatever you set that to. I will try and remember the defaults and tell you press this, press that. But other than that, those are the only changes I usually make. So there is everything. Oh, snooper settings actually. So snooper settings is just Mojang wants to get basic information about your system, and as you can see here, it says, you know, CPU cores 8, display frequency 60, you know, so on and so forth. If I have it full screen or windowed, they just want some of this information for trending, so they can find out if how people are using it, what things they can do to make it better. And you can always turn on the allow snooper, which will allow them to get this information, or you can turn it off. Finally, we have the video settings, and I say this one for last because it's a pretty big one. So in here, if you have a real heavy-duty computer, you can leave everything as is. If not, you might want to change the graphics from fancy to fast. That will make it render a little faster. Also, there's the render distance. Far, if you have a 64-bit machine, far is fine. Other words, you might need normal or short or teeny. I have a pretty decent machine, so we'll leave that. Smooth lighting, once again, there's 3 settings for this. Maximum uses the new lighting system that Dinnerbone has been coding. This off is obviously off. Minimum is the lighting system prior to Dinnerbone trying to fix it. Under performance, we have balanced, and we have power saver and max FPS. I just leave mine on balanced. If you have fancy 3D glasses that plug into your video card and all that stuff, you can turn on the 3D anaglyph. View bobbing is as you're walking and stuff, you might kind of see a slight bobbing of your character. If you don't like that, turn it off. The GUI scale, this is all the buttons, their sizes. If you're doing a Let's Play, you probably don't want it on small because people will be having to look really close. There's normal, there's large, there's auto. Auto will automatically change it depending on how you scale your window. Then we have the advanced GL, OpenGL. You can turn that on or off. The brightness, for doing a Let's Play, it's a good idea to turn that up. I believe I turn mine around to 50-ish. Other words, you just go in dark areas or even semi-dark areas where you can see, but the video is so much darker so you can't see it. There's also the clouds, the Minecraft clouds that are floating up in the sky. You can turn those on or off. If your system is having issues, this won't make a huge difference, but it might make a tiny bit, might make the difference you need. Finally, we have, or not finally, we also have the particles. Now, particles is like when you feed an animal and make them go into breeding mode, you'll see little hearts floating above them. Or if you get near a spawner, you'll see it catch on fire. Or torches have a little extra flame and little smoke puffs that come off of it. So that's particles all. If you turn it to decreased, on animals you won't see the hearts. You'll still see a little bit of animation with torches and stuff, but you also won't see spawners catch on fire, which mean they're active. And then minimal is even a little less. Torches basically just look like a stick with a yellow top, so on and so forth. And then back to all. Full screen is self-explanatory. You click that and it'll fill your entire screen. Click it again and it goes to whatever your window size is. Server textures. Now we talked a little bit about server textures. If you're going to a server that offers their own textures, if you have this on, it will go ahead and download them and use them. Other words, if it's off, it shouldn't do that. And then we finally have use vsync on. So that's just your vertical sync, and I just leave mine on. So those should help you at least set up your system. If you're ever having issues in game, you can hit the escape key and you'll get a menu that kind of looks like this if you click the options button. We'll actually go over that too. So finally, we're at our single player button. So let's go ahead and see what that's all about. Alright, so here you can see I have a couple. This is my TazPlay Creative, so I can do testing and stuff like that. And then this is my actual testing grounds of redstone contraptions and such. In the Select World menu, if you just barely started, you'll have nothing here. But I wanted these here so I could show you what the different things are. So this TazPlay Creative is the name of the world. The TazPlay Creative down here is actually the name of the folder. So if I use like a / or something, it will replace that with an underscore because directories cannot have that. Then we have the date here, the last time it was actually accessed or modified. Then we have underneath little informational stuff saying this is a creative mode, it's not survival, and cheats are enabled. So that just gives you a little info on that. So if we click on one of these, then we can highlight, or we have some options down here. If we click Play Selected World, you'll see it loads the world. Surprise, surprise, right? Can't show you all that stuff. Some of that might be a surprise. But anyway, so here we are in my part of my creative world. This is actually a redo of my creative world. But let's get back out. So here's where I was saying you can always click options when in the game and you can go back to that other menu. Or save and quit takes you back to the title, single player. Alright, so we have other options. If we click that, if we click rename, we can rename this. Now it's important to note it's not renaming the actual folder, it's only renaming our world's name. So if I rename this to, say, Tasman's Awesome Creative World, and then I went into the .minecraft folder and went into the save folder, I would not find one that says Tasman's Awesome Creative World. I would still see TazPlay-Creative, so it might throw you off. That's part of the reason I think that they gave you what your name is and what the folder name is, so that if it has to change anything, you can find it. Okay, so we can rename it, and you just simply type it in, click rename, and you're done. You can also delete a world. I'm not going to delete my world because I like it. But if you click that, it will say, "Are you sure you want to delete it?" Forever is a long time. You click delete, and it's gone. You cannot get it back. So be careful with that. The other thing you can do is this recreate. Now, if we click recreate, it's important to know this isn't a copy of the world that I have. This will actually create a copy of this world as it was when it was first created. And it gives you the opportunity to once again create, give it a new name so that it's distinct. And here you can see that it's saying that the copy, this is what it'll be called. This will kind of demonstrate what I was saying. So if we tried sticking in a slash here, you'll see it sticks in an underscore for the folder because that is an illegal symbol or character for a directory structure. And you can change the game mode from there, and you can play with the world options. We're actually going to play with that in just a minute. Click create world, and you'll have a new world. I'm not going to do that. Alright, Then our next thing is to create a world. So if we create a world, and this is what we're going to do, and if you want, you can follow along and do this with me, and we'll all be in the same world and be able to do this tutorial together. So go ahead and click Create New World. So I'm going to call my world, and this can be anything you want. This will have no bearing on whether we're in the same world or not. That's coming up. So we're going to type, or I'm going to type Minecraft ground up. Okay, so then when you create a new world, you have options, your game mode, and there's 3 of those. You have survival, hardcore, and creative. Survival is just your standard where you get hungry and you need to heal yourself. You die, you either go back to spawn or you go to the last place you created a checkpoint, and by checkpoint means where you slept in a bed. Hardcore means that if you die, it's over. It deletes your world. I don't like playing on hardcore because I die because I keep it hard. I'd rather at least respawn at my bed and get to continue playing. And then creative is where you can fly, you have unlimited resources, you can instantly destroy and place blocks. So that's really good for creative, like I had in my 2 worlds for testing. So we're going to do survival. Now we want to click the more world options. Let's go over those real quick. So this part up here is the seed. This is what's going to guarantee that the world you're in and the world I'm in are identical as far as how they're formed. And if you're playing along with me and you want to do the exact same, you want to type Minecraft from the ground up. So what it'll do from this is it'll create a seed for the world, or a world seed. And what that will do is, if yours is the exact same as mine, we'll actually spawn not in the exact same location but the same area, and we'll be in the same biome and stuff like that. Okay, so our options down here are generate structures. These are your villages, dungeon, mine shaft, and etc, etc, etc. We can turn that on and off. Next we have the world type. Okay, so world type, the default is just regular biomes spread throughout the world. Next we have super flat. Now super flat has some customizations, and this is, as you saw in my testing world, it was completely flat, and the whole floor or the whole ground was made of sandstone, right? Well, this is where I did that. You go to super flat, click customize, and the default super flat, this is telling you that the first block, the top block, is grass. Underneath that there's 2 layers of dirt. Underneath that there's 1 layer of bedrock. So it's a really flat, thin world. Now you can change this by going into presets, and there's a bunch of presets. The one I use for mine is redstone ready. And if we click use preset, you'll see that the top 52 layers are sandstone. Then underneath those 52 layers we have 3 layers of stone and 1 layer of bedrock. And that's what I use for my redstoning, because redstone looks really nice against the sandstone, and overall it's a clean look. We're not going to use a preset for our tutorial world. It would be quite boring. So I'm going to click cancel, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what that is. So if you were going to use this, you would click done. We're not going to. We're going to click cancel. The next world type we have is large biomes. So this is just like default, except your biomes are huge. And biomes are your different areas, such as the plains, the mountains, the forests, swamps, and such. When you have default biomes, you might be able to cross 1 to 3 biomes a day. If you're in large biomes, I've had it where it's taken me multiple days to get across 1 biome, so they're really big. Next, we have the option of allowing cheats. Now, because this is going to be a tutorial world and I might have to spawn in various things, we're going to turn that on. But when I'm just doing a let's play or just playing a survival game, I usually don't turn that on. This will allow you to use different commands, the slash commands, like give, change the day to night, change the night to day, so on and so forth. Then we have the bonus chests. So if you're playing survival and you just want that little bit of help to start off, you turn the bonus chests on. And what that does is it'll place a bonus chest, which is just a little chest that contains a couple little things, nothing really big. Usually it's either stone or wood tools, maybe a couple items of food, some coal, a couple chunks of wood or something like that. It's nothing really big, but it helps you when you're just starting. So we're going to have that off because we don't need it. And then if we click done, it takes us to the previous page that we're on before we click world options. Or from here we can just click create world. So if you make sure you have Minecraft from the ground up, all lowercase, one space between each thing, we'll go ahead and click create new world. Alright, so now it's creating our world for us, and this takes a few minutes, well, depending on your system speed. But as you can see, we have spawned in a taiga biome. Taiga biomes has the spruce trees and lots of snow on the ground, ice in the water and such. So here we see you should be in an area that looks similar to the following. Now let's see, I'm going to come up to this tree so we have a dark background, and we're going to do two things. One, we're going to press the slash key, which shares the key on your keyboard with the question mark, and we're going to type seed. Now this is, whether cheats are on or not, this is one command in a single player world that always works. And this simply shows you, remember how we typed Minecraft from the ground up, all lowercase, and that was our world seed? This is what it converted it into. So if you type that and you see this right here, -784249278, then you should pat yourself on the back. We're in the same world. Well, I guess not the same world. We're in identical worlds, and everything you see in my world will be in your world, and you can do what I do in my world. The next thing we're going to do is take a quick look. I'm going to press I just to get rid of that, and as you see, I got an achievement. Ooh, achievement get! And we'll go over this in just a second. But the next thing I want to do is press the F3 key. Now F3 brings up the debug screen. So if we press that, you can see here, and I'm going to press, no, I can't press anything. You can see here, let's see, can I press enter? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I just needed my mouse back. So you can see here the version of Minecraft we're running. We have the frames per second that we're getting, the chunks that are updated, how much memory we're using, how much, allocated memory. Then we have lots of little informational things here. I'm only going to go over a couple of these because only a couple are really relevant to playing a survival game and understanding what's going on. One is the E here. This is the entities. So right now, an entity can be something, a little item thrown on the ground that's spinning. It could be animals, it could be mobs, it could be virtually anything. Okay, so an entity right now, in the direction we're facing, there are 4 entities out of 85 that are loaded, or 86, 84, 85. Okay, so that's kind of important to keep track of. The other parts is this X, Y, and Z. Now the reason I'm showing you these is so you can actually see where I'm at, and maybe we can be at the exact same place. So if you came to these coordinates and faced the direction I'm facing, you would be facing this tree. So my X coordinate is 231. We don't need everything after the decimal. And it shows you here in parentheses, just 231 is fine. Our Y coordinates, this is our height, so this is our horizontal coordinates. this is our, or I don't think horizontal. This is our x coordinates. I don't think horizontal is good because z is horizontal too. But anyway, so our x is 231. Our y is 69. So this is, our feet are at 69. Our eyes are actually at 70 because we're two blocks high, right? So this is our height. So if I were down in near the bottom of the Minecraft world, this would be closer to 11.7 or something like that. So this will make it so that if you're looking for an exact location where I am, height-wise too, in case I'm in a cave, you can actually go there. And then z is your other horizontal coordinates, which is 244. And then f here is your facing. Now it used to be a lot harder. It used to only have this number, but as of some of the last updates, they actually put in a word facing. So if we just uncheck, let's get out of there. As you can see now, we're north, east, south. So south is 0, west is 1, 2 is north, 3 is east. Okay, oops, wrong one. I wanted to push this one. Next thing that's kind of important is this B right here. B is your biome. So we can see we're in the taiga biome. Your biomes, as I said, are your different areas. You have forest, you have extreme hills, you have taiga, swamp, plains, so on and so forth. Then we have here the block lighting. So right where I'm standing, block lighting's at 0. The source light, which is the sun above, is the 13, and is this real lighting, I think, is also 13. So as we move out, and usually block lighting will change with your torches and stuff. As you put down torches, that's what you'll see change mostly. So here we're directly under the sun, it's nice and bright. Here we're not. If we dig down a couple, you'll see that now our source lighting's down to 0, 11. So anyway, that just kind of gives you an idea how that all works. Let's go back to our tree so it's nice and dark. And press enter. Okay, so we have those that are our lighting, and then some of these others aren't. This is G is gravity, I believe, and I can't remember. Let's see. One of these is whether you're flying. I think that's the one that says G. Yeah, gravity's not affecting me because I'm floating up and down. So anyway, that one's not so important. Mostly what's important is your lighting, your XYZ, your biome, and the entities. Those are the ones I would say are most, and I guess the frames are pretty important too if you're recording. So those are the main things that I would say are important in this menu. And you can always go to the Minecraft wiki. If you go to minecraftforums.net, .net? Yeah, I think it's .net. And then there's a wiki link there. You can go to the wiki and actually look up all the debug. Other thing that's important, if you've been watching my Let's Play or my Taz Play series, sometimes I'll go into an area and it's not rendered. If you press F3, and while pressing F3 you hit the A key, it will force the chunk to reload, and usually it'll clean it up so you can see better. So those are pretty much all I use that screen for. Next thing we're going to do is look at when we press escape and we get this menu here. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so obviously first this takes us back to the game. Options we've gone over. Now if you're on a single player world and you have someone that's in your local area or hooked up to the exact same network you're on through a switch or something like that, you can open up your game so they can play on it with you. And to do that, you just click this button. You can set it so, do I want to allow them to cheat? Do I want them to be in creative, survival, or adventure? Adventure is a mode that is used by map makers that make it so you really can't break any blocks. Very few. So you can choose what mode they're in, and then you can click Start Land World. and that will make it so then if they go in the multiplayer settings, it'll always scan and it will show your world and they can join you and play with you. Alright, save and quit to title. We did that when we were in our creative testing world. So that leaves us just these two buttons right here. So remember when I was over here and I said, oh, I want to get that box out of the way, and I hit I and boom, all of a sudden it said achievement get. Well, achievements are kind of goals in a game, and this has achievements. So as you can see, achievement get, taking inventory, I pressed I. Now I changed my key, remember, so the default key for the default Minecraft key is E. So it would say press E to open your inventory. And as you can see, I've taken it. It says right there it's taken. The next achievement I have is get wood, and it says getting wood. Attack a tree until a block of wood pops out. So it kind of gives you a hint. Now other ones like these don't show you what they are necessarily because they have a requirement. This is showing you, this little green flashing line is showing you your next achievement. And then of course this is showing you how to get it. The black line means you haven't got it. So let's just punch some wood real quick and we'll get achievement getting wood as soon as we pick that up. Boom. Achievement getting wood. So now if we go back there again, we can see now this one's accomplished because it's gray. This is what we need to do now. And once again, it doesn't always give you exactly what you need to do, it gives you hints. So this simply says craft a workbench with 4 blocks of planks. So what we need to do is think, how do I get 4 planks? And we can, oh look, we got planks. And we're going to go into that also later, so don't worry about that. Alright, and then we have statistics. Statistics are exactly what it sounds like. They're your game statistics. So here you can see times played 2. That's because we load our testing world and we've loaded this one. Worlds played 1 because we've only come in this and stayed in this and done stuff in this one. Multiplayer joins. That was when we joined my test server. Games quit, so on and so forth. So it gives you all these little statistics. You also have your blocks. Block statistics. How many times have I crafted dirt? Well, you can't craft dirt. How many times have I crafted wooden planks? 8 times. Times used. I've used dirt 5 times. And I've mined dirt 5 times. So it gives you statistics on everything that you've actually done in the game. Normally, once I've built a pick and I've done stone, I'll have stone, cobblestone, and everything else. Right now I only have those because that's all I have. Then items, I haven't crafted any items, so there's not an items one there. Let's quickly craft an item and we'll go look at that and then we'll move on. So as it said in that thing, 4 planks makes a crafting bench. So now we just got our benchmarking. Click that down. Hopefully we'll have enough. We'll do one of those. Alright, we're going to make a sword. And don't worry if you're not following this part. We'll go into it in just a minute. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back into it. Our statistics. Now we have items, and you can see we've crafted sticks, 4, and we've crafted 1 sword. We haven't used it yet, and we haven't broken it or depleted it. So anytime you use an item, such as a sword, if we break stuff with it, like dirt, now you see a durability bar underneath it. So that's that little green line right here. When that gets all the way down, your sword breaks. So let's go over here. There were a couple cows. We're going to go work on our durability of our sword real quick. We're only going to take out 1 cow, maybe, unless there's 4. Oh, there's a couple. So there's another achievement. So now you can see the durability on our sword is going down. So as that goes lower and lower, pretty soon when it gets to the bottom, it breaks and you no longer have a sword. Alright, so that covers everything there. So now what we're going to do is jump into the actual game. I bet you thought it would never happen. So let's go ahead, and I think this episode has ran long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this stuff that I have, and we're going to pretend we never saw it, okay? Never saw anything. We're going to go get rid of it. We'll just dig a hole right here. We're going to have to get that dirt so we can get back out. Okay. Alright, we're going to toss all this junk in here. We have 4. We're going to toss in, let's see, through. I want to toss in almost all of it. Okay. So in the next episode, I will be setting the time today. So it's just like we barely got here. We just won't have to go over all that stuff we just went over. So anyway, thanks guys for joining me. Hopefully you found this tutorial handy and useful. Let's set the time today. This is why we had cheats on. Time set day. And watch the sun. Boop, there it goes. Alright, so anyway, like I said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it and found it useful, click the little thumbs up. It helps me get better notice on YouTube and better placement in searches. Also, you know, if you want, subscribe to my channel so you can get updates anytime that I have updates and put up new videos. And finally, leave comments so I know what you think I'm doing right, what I could do better. I appreciate it all, and I read all the comments that I get. But anyway, like I said, thank you guys so much for joining me, and until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.